Hi, this is Elisa Elmore, and this is my interview assignment presentation. I conducted my interview in Winston-Salem, North Carolina on October 24th at 11:30 a.m., and I had the pleasure of sitting down with Dawn Calhoun, who is an Associate Dean of Undergraduate Admissions at Wake Forest University. Dawn's responsible for recruiting North Carolina students. She visits schools and talks with prospective students and guidance counselors, and coordinates all programs that target students in North Carolina. She also coordinates the Alumni Admissions Program, which is a program that involves alumni volunteers in all phases of student recruitment. Through this program, the alums are trained and they serve as in-the-field representatives of the university when the admissions office can't have an actual admissions office person in their area. Dawn received her Bachelor of Arts degree from Wake Forest University in 1999. She double majored in education and communication. And she also received her Master of Arts in 2007 in counseling from Wake Forest University. When she was completing her bachelor's degree, she always thought that she would take her communication degree and move to New York and work in that field. But all of that changed when she took a job in the admissions office as an intern the summer after she graduated from college in 1999. And in the fall of that same year, she moved into a counselor position with a promotion to assistant director within the year. And in 2011, she became an Associate Dean of Admissions. She's held no other positions outside of higher education. Dawn loves the environment where she works. The job she has working with high school students is very rewarding. The relationship with her coworkers makes her job more enjoyable. They work well as a team, always supporting each other. She cherishes the relationships that she's built not only with the students, but the high school counselors as well. And since she has been in North Carolina recruiting since 1999, she has really developed some strong bonds with those counselors and with those North Carolina schools. And it makes her feel good to continue the relationships with the students even after they graduate. Those are some good things about her job, and a couple of the bad things, I don't know, worst. Recruiting travel takes a lot of her time. And there's certain times of the year that she's away from home quite a bit. So this has a work-life balance problem for her. It's an issue for her, which she actually is working on. So while higher education was not her first choice, she's clearly very satisfied with the direction her career path has taken, and she does not see herself leaving higher education at all. Dawn focuses on the challenges of her current job. And in this particular field, the challenges change from year to year. They have to take a look at the demographic of the student and the economic changes and societal changes. So these all become challenges for them in recruiting. So she has to really stay focused on those. She would like to eventually become a senior associate dean of admissions. Given the current landscape of the Office of Admissions, she is not sure exactly when that will happen, but it is something that she would like to do. But she really doesn't see herself as becoming a dean of admissions. When I asked Dawn for her advice, she was clearly flattered, very sweet about it. She had some really good advice. She told me to ask questions, that it's imperative for learning. And even though may have been in a job for a long time and we think we know all there is to know about a job, there's always something to learn. You have to ask questions. Our world is changing, and you have to adapt to those changes within your job. She also told me to challenge myself when I told her that I was pursuing my master's degree and I'm a little bit older, and she said that was a good challenge for me. She said, but you do have to challenge yourself, not only in your personal life, but in your professional life as well. So step out of your box and go for it. And the one thing that she did tell me, the last thing that she told me, was to take time to talk with coworkers. And I know that sometimes this is frowned upon in businesses because people see it looks like sometimes that you're sitting around just talking and not really working. She said that this is important. It's important to act with your coworkers because it just makes build teamwork. She said they talk travel stories and what they've encountered while in schools and talking to students, and it helps them to know what is out there, the information that's out there, how to make it better, where to put their focus in their recruiting efforts, and it just helps in all that they do. Wake Forest University Office of Admissions mission statement is educating the whole person, and that's what they do. It's just something that's ingrained in them. They focus on the whole person, and they use this whole person mission. You're more, so be more. It makes sense. A sense of initiative, a sense of balance, humor, and healthy sense of adventure. All of these things lend to the whole person, and they look for that kind of person to help them find those students who will add to their Wake Forest campus community. The Office of Admissions has 28 positions. They report to a Dean of Admissions. They have a Senior Associate Dean, and her responsibility is, she does have a recruiting territory, but she also oversees and is responsible for the processing areas, applications, the background work. There are 6 Associate Deans, Assistant Deans 3. They all have recruiting areas that they're responsible for. There are 2 coordinators. One is a coordinator of diversity admissions. The other is a coordinator of international admissions, and they both work closely with the associate deans who are also over those areas. And then there are 5 counselors, and they rotate out. They bring them in immediately after college, keep them for 2 years, and it just makes sense to bring those students in there. And they also have an administrative staff of 10. There have been many changes over the last 5 years. They've gone test optional, and what this has done is it has changed how they look at students. The new dialogue, it removes the roadblock of that test score out there so that they can look at the whole person, like their mission statement says. Campus-wide, they have deliberative dialogues. This is working directly with the students on campus, and the admissions office is a huge part of that, so that students know that their opinions are important, that they have more of a voice. They've also expanded their campus to the downtown area and developed stronger community partnerships. Some of the current issues, their perception of being out of reach, cost of attendance leads to that perception, and the availability of financial aid are areas that sometimes are just, they don't have any control over those particular areas. Their current situation, they manage their budget creatively. Their financial aid for their cost of attendance. They've accomplished the effects of their test optional status. It's difficult because of their cost of attendance to recruit good students. and they plan to increase enrollment in the future. One of the things that she thinks is a major issue facing higher education, and specifically liberal arts, is addressing the question that they get a lot: is a college education really worth the cost? So she knows that this is an issue. They talk about it daily, and it's just a hard issue with them. So they just have to try to convince folks that it really is important, and that sometimes it is worth the cost. I truly enjoyed talking with Dawn. She doesn't just go through the motions of her job. She truly believes and lives the charge given to her by the Dean of Admissions. She was very open and honest about her answers to my questions, and I feel I have a very good sense of who she is, and I know that she is passionate about her job. I would work for Dawn. She is compassionate and driven, but in a manner that does not put one on the defensive. I would also work in this department. They work well together and seem to be very focused on the task of recruiting a wide range of students to Wake Forest University. The interview experience was an interesting one for me. I did dread it, but I certainly enjoyed talking with Dawn, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing about Dawn. Thank you.